Thank you very much for that comment. My good friend, Rafsanjani, I know you will always bring this issue of remuneration. For those of you who are not aware, it's part of the constitutional responsibilities of the Commission to come up with an acceptable remuneration for political as well as legislators and judicial office holders in Nigeria. Now the Commission did that of judiciary last year with Mr. President, Attorney General, National Assembly. The major controversy had always been other political office holders. But I have always said, we've debated this with him. You cannot pay a minister less than ₦1 million per year. Per month. Less than ₦1 million per month. Since 2008, and did not increase his salary, and expect that he will put in his best without necessarily being involved in some other things. So I would want your support and your people. I will tell you the Commission is coming out with another report. It's not that the Commission despises Nigerian workers, but it's not the responsibility of the Commission to take care of minimum wage and other salaries of other workers. We are strictly restricted to political office holders, governors, senators, legislators, ministers, DGs, and other people. Let's face it realistically. You have, I have said it over and over, you pay either a CBN governor or DG, MPA or NCC, you pay him 10 times than you pay the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's just not right. Or you pay him 20 times higher than Attorney General of the Federation. That is absolutely not right. But people like to make a level of insinuations and mischief over it. Simply because you occupy an office, you get in this little bit of salary, people will accept that you can be as corrupt as you want to be. They are okay with that, but your official salary, anytime you said you're going to look at it and review it, people will now start saying it's too much. And how much is it? How many ministers do we have? How many legislators we have? Because of this thing now, you have the Senate and the House of Reps, they have crafted, overhead and some other things, the salaries of their aides and all these things, they have packaged something for themselves and they made it into law. So it's about time that people like you and others should support the Commission to come up with reasonable living salaries for ministers, DGs, the president. You're paying the president 1.5 million a month. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with a salary, with a population of over 200 million people. That's what you pay him. Everybody believes that is a joke. You understand? This was done in 2007, 2008, and since that time it had not been reviewed. So my good friend, when we come out with a report, please, and we are still asking if the Oresanya report can be implemented so that Salaries and Wages Commission can come back to Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission and we will do justice to Nigerian workers appropriately, we have to find the money to pay individuals a living wage. So this is just an appeal to you. We've had this debate many, many times with you. And the issue of subnationals, yes, like I've mentioned, federating units and other things. Yeah, you are right. Doctor, you are right. We are not only concerned about the money allocated to states and federal government, but we are concerned about the monitoring of the utilization of the funds. What had happened was with the Abia versus federal government Supreme Court judgment that stripped the commission of the powers to monitor after allocation. Do you follow up to see what has happened to the money? They say we are busybodies, but under this system, under the current president, the same current attorney general who was the lawyer of the other side, fortunately now he is the lawyer on this side, advocated and got some level of autonomy for the local governments. We are, some of us that are over 60 years, we look back, even under the military, how the local governments were functioning. They were constructing roads, they were building schools, they were doing all sorts of things. Independent of a state governor, military, under military. But now we have come to a situation where it's only the governor that can direct what happens in a local government. And if we don't get that local government development right, we are not going to get it correct. Because we all know they construct schools, they do culverts, they have a Department of Works, they hire people, they are doing things in the villages and other things. So Nigeria is not going to progress until we go back to that system whereby the center of development becomes that local government, not the state, not the federal. Federal should concern itself with the issue of defense, national security, internal affairs, and some other things. But the real development should be back into the local government area. We are also trying to bring in new factors in the horizontal revenue allocation sharing formula. But of course, we know population is a constitutional issue, so we cannot do away with it. And we are fully ready. Like Professor Wike said, we have to study other countries. Members of the committee will go to various countries, similar federating countries, to understudy and come back with the report. And by the grace of God, before the end of the year, the commission will come out with something, and we hope that you will support. You will support us very well. The other issue you raised was the issue of the special funds, which we have discussed, the 1.68, the 0.5, the FCT, and the ecology fund. There are means and ways which a state or local government can access those funds. But as advocates for good governance, you should look at this and look at the allocation in that sector and be able to analyze so that you can equally educate Nigerians on that. And on the issue of what is going on to the states, what is the allocation that is going to the states, is advocates like you and citizens that can raise this issue up with various governors. Say, Your Excellency, you have received this amount of money from this time to this time. what have you actually done with it? I mean, you know, if the economic planning commissioner, the whatever, what are the projects you are embarking on, some other things, everybody is looking at president. But let's look at allocation given to states. There are some states that are doing fantastically well. I can mention some. You know, Lagos, people will say, oh, Lagos, but you look at, you know, they're doing fantastically well. You know, they are doing very well. They are trying to do something that can bring all their citizens on board, increase means of generating income, employment, and some other things. For instance, when Mr. President stated in his address that he has removed subsidy, what some of us had expected was every state should have come up with a transportation plan that will ease the burden of workers. The difference between Europe, America, Asian countries, Malaysia, in terms of how they deal with their workers, is public transportation. If you are working, you don't need to drive your car from your neighborhood to where you work. There is an effective subsidized transportation system that will take you from your neighborhood to where you work. Whether it's in the US, whether it's in Europe, and then people that are less privileged, how they have been given some level of welfare and some other things. Those are the things that Nigerian leadership from the states needs to institutionalize that. We don't need to drive from Karu or from Buhari into Abuja Center if you walk in Abuja. Where is the public transportation system? The rail system that is being, that you have it now is good, but I mean, you can even do it more. Without New York City, Rafsanjani, you are aware, without the transport system, the train system and the bus system, it will be chaotic, you know, and it's subsidized. So these are the things that will make a nation a better nation, where workers will have, you know, better deal, you know, better salaries to take back home, and then better environment and public school system, where you have primary and secondary education free. Literally in all the states in the US, primary and secondary school educations system are free. When you go to university, then you can choose whether to go to Ivy League or you go to public university system. And even if your income is less, you have some level of scholarship and help and grants and some other things. So these are the things that gentlemen like you who are into advocacy and other things should be able to are important. So just thank you for this comment, sir. Thank you.